Okay, so we had a Raaj bundle.
What's good?
So we're talking about Kevin Kutta Keyz. And did you know him personally?
Yeah, I know him personally. Grew up in the same neighborhood, North Side, Hollywood Street, Baldwin Boys, Pontiac, Michigan. Yeah, I grew up in Fairmont, Hollywood. He stayed on Strathmore in Hollywood, I mean, not Strathmore, my bad, Rutgers in Hollywood.
Did you do any music with her?
No, we don't got any songs together, nope.
Were you at any of the recording sessions ever?
A couple of them at Ty's. We used to have some famous recording session at Ty's studio. So yeah, I call like one of Kutta sessions. Man, back then it was it was just different, man. It was just different. The vibes was crazy, man. When it came to Cut, niggas just knew he was up next, and that's when we had that NWO shit popping, and niggas was in tune with each other, and it was just and it was crazy. It was a movement for sure.
At some point, him and another popular rapper from Pontiac named Kutta Keyz began beefing. What started the beef?
As far as I know, I think Coop, because Cut had the streets. He was on fire, and Coop pretty much was the first Pontiac rapper to pretty much open the floodgates for everybody. One of the original people to start making noise, and I guess he had a song he wanted Kutta to jump on, and Cut didn't want to do it, and it pretty much escalated from there. That little north side and east side shit got real serious.
Do you think it was a valid beef?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was really just some petty shit. I don't think it was that serious, but that shit did get serious though. That north side east side beef was definitely serious though. That shit wasn't nothing to play with. Like at the time that shit was going on, shit was definitely tense in the yak for sure.
Who or what do you think inspired Kutta to do music?
At that time, man, because Cut used to hang out with my older brother. He's a little older than me. He used to hang out with my brothers and stuff all the time. And a lot of people, the Hot Boys, I know he liked the Hot Boys a lot. A lot of us looked up to the Hot Boys at that time. That Cash Money was doing their thing. And yeah, I know that was definitely one of the heavy influence at the time.
What were some of his characteristic traits?
Man, Kev was goofy, man. He was funny, always had jokes. Athletic, I remember we used to always hoop. We used to always throw the football. He would always be backflipping too. Him, my brother Sock, Manito, we'd be in the front yard flipping. They used to have flip contests, and yeah, man, real good soul, man, cool cat.
What were your favorite characteristic traits about him?
Probably just his personality, man, because like I used to remember, man, like when he was hot with the music and stuff, and like he used to come around, like people used to be like, oh damn, there go Kutta, or like people would be like, damn, or he'd leave. People say, yeah, I was just over here with Kutta. Like people like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell he was next up. Like people used to just be happy to be around him, just like in his presence and stuff, and yeah, he had it, man. He had the streets for sure.
What else was Kutta good at besides rap music?
Yeah, like I said, flipping. They used to be flipping like crazy. Sports. He played for Central for a little bit. Him, my brother Cruz, and them. I remembered they used to play. Him and my brothers used to have the games at the J.C. Park. They used to be on Walton. Used to play for the Jaguars and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, I'd say sports.
What's a funny or crazy story that you had with Kutta?
A funny or crazy story? Man, let me see. I don't want to get too explicit here. Let me see, man. Yeah, probably just blazing, man. We used to have some legendary blaze sessions, man, in front of the crib on Fairmont, Hollywood, and we used to get it in on the jokes, man. Shit used to get real serious. Niggas used to be out there clowning niggas, man. So yeah, I say probably that.
Why do you think his music received the response it did at that time? How do you think he was able to gain his popularity and get his music out there to the streets without social media and no promo and stuff like that?
Man, I think at that time, like, the North was a big side and we all fuck with each other and shit. Like, we really just needed a voice. And like, he was the voice of that. Like, a lot of people just, like, we was all on that North side shit, you feel me? And he was just representing that. He was just screaming what we was all already on. And that shit just brought everybody together. Hollywood Street, Baldwin, up by Lincoln, the Dub P, Edgewood, everybody just, even the other side of the North, by the Newmans, by Trademark and all that shit, he was just the North side, you feel me? Just the mascot. Like, he was the voice of the North, you feel me? And the North side needed that.
What do you remember about 6/30/08, the day he was killed. Walk me through that day and getting the news that he had been shot.
Well, the night before, he had a show at the Crowfoot. We all had a show at the Crowfoot that we had there. That boy was lit. We was turned up in there, and him and News, we was all on stage, and him and News did the Gangsters Ride. They did Gangsters Ride. Everybody was in there turned up, going crazy. And at the time, Kutta was on the run. He was on the run for I think his second or third pistol case or whatever. And so boom, we performed Gangsters Ride on stage. And then next thing you know, next song come on, his verse come on. He not on the stage. We looking around and stuff like, yo, where'd he go? He done dipped off the stage because we heard the feds was then came to the show and was about to snatch him up because he was on the run. So boom, he ended up dipping out of the show mid-performance. And that was the last time I seen him. That was Saturday. And then the very next day, Sunday, was 6/30/08, the day it happened. And yeah, I just remembered I got the call, and we all shot down to the hospital downtown Pontiac, McLaren. I don't know if it was McLaren at the time, but we all shot down there, and it was just crazy. It was a bunch of people down there. The police wasn't letting us into the hospital. They wouldn't let us know nothing. They wasn't letting none of his family come in there. And then boom, we ended up getting into it with the police. They ended up shooting the paintball guns at us and stuff. I remember it like it was yesterday. I got hit in the leg a couple times, got hit with them paintballs. And yeah, that's what happened on 6/30/08. I remember that weekend like it was yesterday.
Explain the version of events that you got, or you know, what to your understanding, what happened.
From what I heard, it was a drug deal gone bad. I think my mans, from what I heard, he bumped into my mans. He wanted something done a certain way. He did it, brought it back, and I guess my mans ended up doing what he did. That's from the story I heard. A deal gone wrong, pretty much.
And what happened to the shooters or people involved in his death?
The guy, he's doing life right now. He's doing an L piece, and that's the only person I'm aware of that was involved in it. I don't know if it was multiple people or not, but I do know that one guy, he's doing the natty. He's doing the natty ice, the natty life.
How did his death affect the people that loved him and his music?
Shoot, man, it affected the whole hood, really. Cause I mean, like I said, he was like the voice of the North, and you know, a lot of people like us that was real close to him. It was deeper than rap. Cause like I said, we was around him before he even started doing music. Like I said, I remember going to watch him and my brother play football games at J.C. Parks when they was youngins. They used to be at my crib or Fairmont Hollywood flipping and rapping and getting fly, going to go on missions, go talk to girls and shit. So, you know, it was a little deeper than rap for me. But I mean, yeah, it definitely affected a lot of people, man, because he was putting on, he was next up. And I think it just hurts a lot of people because you just always think of what could have been. Like, if that wouldn't have happened, how far he could have took it and how many more other people would have got on and how much more light he could have shed on a lot more other people. Just seeing somebody you grew up with, somebody you love, just pass away, you know, it hurts. It always hurts to lose a loved one, you know. R.I.P. Kutta Keyz, R.I.P. Herb, R.I.P. Manito, you know, just losing people you grew up with, you know, from the sandbox, people used to band there, and then boom, they abruptly just get taken away from you. You know, it's difficult. It's very tough.
What do you want people to know about him that just now getting hip to him and hearing his music, or they might have been a fan but didn't know it personally? What would you want those people to know about him?
I mean, just pretty much just the whole, just his whole story, just his upbringing, where he's from, just the Pontiac thing, just letting people get a better understanding of it, so they understand, you know, who he was, how he was putting on for the city. Cause like Pontiac, you gotta think, man, it's a small city, but it's real diverse, and it's a lot of artists that's making noise, but there's not really a lot of artists that the whole city gets behind and supports and listens to. And Kutta was one of those guys that North, East, South, West, everybody listened to him. Everybody fucked with him. Everybody knew his the words to his songs. Everybody listened to all his stuff. And he was one of the few artists that broke through and accomplished and did that. So, you know, if people are gonna check out his music and stuff, just do a little bit of the homework on him.